Hello, guys. Welcome back to TFD. Well, wow. Just wow. I mean, let's be honest. They already don't like me, so why hold back now, right? Why not just say it straight? I saw this latest sponsorship and I thought to myself, oh, here we go again. The length some companies will go to push a message, an agenda, it's astonishing. And let's be real, nobody fits that agenda quite like Paige Bueckers. My goodness. She ticks every single box, including, yes, the Yukon Mafia box. You know what I mean? Want the full rundown? One video, and you'll see exactly why Caitlin Clark gets all the hate, while someone like Paige gets the praise. And let's not kid ourselves. This isn't some national-level phenomenon. Nope. Just keeping it real. Case in point, Lego. That's right, Lego. Somehow she's landed a sponsorship there. Honestly, Lego might as well have just set that money on fire. Because, let's face it, Paige Bueckers isn't moving the needle for toy sales. Maybe a handful of hardcore basketball fans will notice, but that's it. A very, very, very small slice. And here's the kicker. The old Wnba guard? They absolutely don't want someone like me pointing this stuff out. But you know what? I am. I'm calling it as I see it. Because if we're going to have this conversation, it's better to be honest, upfront, and just real. All right, let's get on to this. Here's what they said. Paige Bueckers is making an unprecedented off-court impact on the WNBA. Really? Paige Bueckers is already one of the most hyped and highly anticipated players in the WNBA, years before she was actually drafted #1 overall in the 2025 draft. Bueckers' skills on the court are undeniable. Her potential to continue to grow is vast. My goodness. Okay, but Bueckers has been making off-the-court moves that are unprecedented for a WNBA player. All right, hold up. That's just not true. Unprecedented to who? Have you seen all the sponsorships Caitlin Clark's racked up? Did you catch that Nike ad? Last I checked, it hit 50 million views. So let's not act like Paige is doing something no one's ever seen before. Stop it. Honestly, I'm at the point where I'm getting tired of this nonsense. The whole narrative around certain players and the way they're hyped, it's getting ridiculous. Caitlin Clark is out here breaking records, making waves, and they're still out here pushing this agenda. I can't take much more of this. Here, said that marketability has continued to be a major factor in Bueckers' professional career as well. This season, she announced several partnerships with brands like CarMax and Fanatics. Though the brands are wildly different, CarMax helps with purchasing and financing cars, and Fanatics is a clothing brand that produces a lot of incredible WNBA merch. The deals are a strong sign that Bueckers is on the right path when it comes to building both interest in her career and lifelong financial stability. Okay, let's just do it. Here we go. Here we go. Right here. Said, breaking. Paige Bueckers has signed a deal with Lego. The news comes shortly after Nike filed a trademark for a bucket logo, suggesting she'll be one of the brand's next signature athletes. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at this right here, and then hold on a second. Why does that look like Iowa Hawkeye colors? Seriously, why Iowa Hawkeye colors? I mean, I'm just asking the question. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. Just something that caught my eye. Let's actually look at the facts for a second. Dallas Wings attendance is sitting around 7,273 per game. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is drawing crowds of nearly 20,000. That gap alone tells you everything you need to know. And here's another detail people keep glossing over. Paige Bueckers' games were not moved to American Airlines Center, where the Mavericks play. You know whose games did get moved there? Caitlin Clark's. That doesn't happen by accident. Don't let anyone blow smoke and sell you a false narrative. The data is right in front of you. A marquee matchup featuring Bueckers and Clark pulled 2.1 million viewers on ABC. That's real national interest. And then look at this. A Wings game without Clark still drew around 1.14 million viewers, showing strong local and regional engagement, not some manufactured hype. This isn't about opinions or feelings. It's about numbers, decisions, and demand. And when you follow the trail, the conclusion becomes pretty clear. Let me take a step back and actually walk through the numbers, because this is where the conversation usually gets uncomfortable for people. Let's start with Paige Bueckers' WNBA debut. Her first game averaged 639,000 viewers on ION. And I'm going to ask a simple question. If someone truly has real momentum, real mass appeal, do you honestly think their WNBA debut is landing on ION? A player the general public genuinely cares about. Someone driving national interest is not debuting on a niche network. That's just how sports television works. Now compare that to Caitlin Clark. Her WNBA debut averaged 2.12 million viewers on ESPN. That wasn't luck. ESPN looked at the 2025 season schedule and said, "Who do we want?" They passed on everyone else. Then they saw Caitlin Clark and said, "No, we need that game." They understood the value immediately, and the numbers backed it up. And before anyone says, "Well, that's ESPN versus ION," fine, let's talk ION. Caitlin Clark's debut on ION, before most people even knew the channel existed or associated it with WNBA basketball, pulled 724,000 viewers, nearly 100,000 more than Paige's debut on the same network. That alone should end the debate. If you adjust for awareness and timing, that 639,000 number probably looks much closer to the low 400s today. I'm not a mathematician, but common sense applies here. Now, let's move deeper into the season. Paige Bueckers on NBA TV, Wings versus Liberty, drew 260,000 viewers. Compare that to Caitlin Clark last season on NBA TV, 500K, 550K, 570K, 600K, even 740K, setting network records for WNBA broadcasts. Paige didn't come close, not even in the same conversation. Then there's attendance. Look at Dallas Wings home games. Not sold out. Not until a certain player came to town. And we're talking about a sub-10,000-seat arena. That tells you everything. The demand isn't organic. It's situational. Yet companies keep throwing money around, forcing a narrative, trying to convince people something is happening that just isn't. Paige Bueckers is now being positioned as the face of Unrivaled. And in 2 days, hardly anyone cares. And that's the part that bothers me. This isn't even really about Paige. She deserves better than being used as a prop. Nike, Lego, all of it. It feels lazy. They could do better if they wanted. They don't want to. They'd rather cater to a small, loud crowd than actually build something people respond to. That's the issue. That's the waste. That's the nasty work. Let me know what you think in the comments. Appreciate the support. Like the video and subscribe.